everyone keeps calling from a monster show. A creature feature. Something you watch with the lights off and forget about by morning. They're wrong. What's actually happening in Fromville isn't a horror story. It's a harvest. And the thing doing the harvesting, it doesn't have claws, it doesn't crawl out from under your bed. It feeds on something way more valuable than blood. It feeds on hope. Episode 6 drops May 31st, and I'm telling you right now, nothing you've seen in this show has prepared you for what's coming. I've broken down the trailer frame by frame. I've traced every symbol back to Season 2. And what I found genuinely scared me. So buckle in, because we're not just analyzing an episode today. We're autopsying a living system. And Boyd Stevens is at the center of all of it. Here's a question nobody's asking. Why is Boyd always there? Every breakdown, every death, every moment the town is 1 second away from completely collapsing, Boyd shows up. He patches it together. He breathes life back into it. And we've been reading that as heroism, as strength. But what if we've been reading it completely backwards? Think about it this way. The town doesn't survive despite Boyd. The town survives because of Boyd. He's not the hero of this story. He's the infrastructure. He's the respiratory system. Every time he saves someone, every time he refuses to quit, the town gets another breath. And that changes everything about how we look at him. Watch Boyd's eyes across the past 3 seasons. I mean, really watch them. Season 1 Boyd had this weight. Tired, sure, but there was still something behind it. Something intact. By Season 3, that thing is gone. What you're seeing isn't exhaustion. It's erosion. The town has been quietly eating him alive, and he's been too busy saving everyone else to notice it happening to himself. Now here's where it gets dark. In the episode 6 trailer, we see Boyd performing CPR, and the immediate reaction from everyone online is, oh no, is Henry dying? And yeah, we'll get to Henry, but that's not the right question. The right question is, why is Boyd always the one holding someone's life in his hands? Because I don't think that's a coincidence anymore. I think the town positions him there, deliberately, strategically. The town knows Boyd has what psychologists call a savior complex, this deep, almost pathological need to be the one who fixes things. And Fromville, it's been exploiting that need since the moment he drove past the town line. Every time Boyd saves someone, he reinforces his own belief that he has to keep going, that he can't leave, that leaving would mean abandoning people who need him. The town isn't trapping Boyd with walls or monsters, it's trapping him with his own conscience. But that's not even the most unsettling part of his arc right now, because what happens when you drain a savior of everyone they're saving? We'll come back to that. Let's talk about Jade. And before you roll your eyes, I know the mushroom stuff seems weird and disconnected, and sometimes feels like the writers are just throwing things at a wall. But stay with me, because once I lay this out, you're not going to be able to unsee it. Jade isn't losing his mind. Jade is accessing a database. Think about Fromville as a server, a massive, ancient server that's been running for, we don't actually know how long, do we? Maybe centuries. And like any server, it stores data, experiences, memories, events. Most of the townspeople are like regular users. They interact with the surface level of the system. They see what the town wants them to see. Jade? Jade somehow stumbled onto admin-level access. The symbols he keeps seeing, the ones carved into caves, the ones bleeding into his dreams, they're not random. Go back to Season 2 and look at the cave markings. Now look at what Jade's been drawing in his notebook this season. They're identical. That's not a coincidence. That's a breadcrumb trail. The town has been storing visual data across hundreds of years. And Jade's brain, possibly because of the mushrooms, possibly because of something specific to him, is now capable of reading it. He's not seeing hallucinations. He's seeing the town's changelog. Every horrible thing that ever happened here, logged and preserved in a format that most human minds can't process. And here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. The town is aware that he's reading it. Think about every moment Jade has been in real danger this season. When has it happened? Right when he gets close. Right when he's about to connect two symbols. Right when the picture starts to form. Something comes for him. The monsters redirect. Something shifts. The town isn't trying to kill Jade because he's a threat physically. It's trying to kill him because he's found the password. And if Jade ever figures out what that password unlocks, the whole game changes. Okay, the man in yellow. If that name doesn't make your stomach drop a little, you haven't been paying attention to this show. But I want to offer a theory that I haven't seen anyone else talking about. Because the popular read is that he's some kind of supernatural entity. A gatekeeper, a warden, something ancient and deliberate. And maybe, but what if he's something sadder than that? Remember when Boyd saw the older version of Victor? Just standing there? And remember all those moments where Boyd walks into a space and gets this feeling of wrongness, like he's been there before but can't quite reach the memory. That's not bad writing. That's a clue. Here's my theory. The town doesn't just trap people, it recycles them. Every generation of survivors goes through the same loop. They arrive, they struggle, they break, and then the town wipes them, resets them, and starts over. But here's the thing about memory. You can wipe the data, but you can't always clean the drive. Bits of experience stay behind. Not full memories, just impressions, emotional echoes, the ghost of a decision made 100 years ago by someone who had Boyd's same desperate eyes and Boyd's same need to hold everything together. The man in the yellow jacket isn't a separate entity. He's a residue. He's what's left when the town processes a version of Boyd, or someone like Boyd, and can't quite erase everything cleanly. And the monsters, the ones that seem to be getting smarter every season, that's not random evolution. Every loop the town takes what it learned from the last Boyd. Every failure, every strategy, every moment of hesitation, it feeds that data into the next generation of creatures. The monsters aren't evolving naturally. They're being optimized against him. Against all of them. Which means every single survivor in Fromville is unknowingly running a live beta test. And they're not the players. They are the data. And now, let's talk about that CPR scene. I know exactly what you're feeling when you watch it. That sick, sinking sensation in your chest. Because Henry, to Boyd, he isn't just another survivor. He's that last, fragile tether to the real world. He's the reminder of who Boyd actually was before this place started eating him alive. And I'm convinced the town knows that. I don't think Henry dying, if it happens, would be random. I don't think it would be collateral damage. I think it would be intentional, surgical. Think about what Henry represents to Boyd. He's the anchor. He's the reason Boyd hasn't completely surrendered to what this place wants him to become. Every time Boyd is standing on that edge, every time he's about to make a choice that crosses a line he can never come back from, it's Henry who pulls him back. It's Henry who reminds him that he's still a man, and not just a weapon. The town needs that anchor gone. Because what the town is building toward, and I truly believe this is the long game they've been playing for 4 seasons now, is a version of Boyd with zero mercy left. No hope. Nothing but raw, unfiltered survival instinct. A version of Boyd who won't hesitate, who won't negotiate, who won't break. But you can't get to that version of him while Henry is still breathing. You can't get there while Boyd still has something to lose. So if that CPR scene ends the way I think it's going to, the man who walks away from that moment won't be a man grieving. He'll be a man being reborn, stripped of every last connection to his humanity, leaving behind something colder, sharper, and honestly, much more dangerous than anything the monsters have thrown at these people yet. The scariest thing in Fromville might not be what's waiting for you in the trees at night. It might just be what Boyd Stevens is about to become. Here's what I need you to take into episode 6 with you. This show is not about escaping a town. It's about what a place can do to a person when it has unlimited time and unlimited patience. It's about the slow, methodical dismantling of every defense mechanism a human being has. Boyd, Jade, Tabitha, who's been our voice of reason this whole time, and who the trailer shows starting to see things that no rational explanation will cover. They're all being processed. And on May 31st, when episode 6 drops, I need you to watch Boyd's eyes in every single scene. Not his words, not his actions, his eyes. Because the man we started this season with, and the man we're going to end this episode with, are not the same person. This is Drama Crypt. If this breakdown connected dots you hadn't seen before, hit subscribe, because the second episode 6 drops, we're going to be the first ones breaking down everything the episode just did to us. The system is running, and none of us are ready for the output.